Hey, welcome back to my channel. So my name is Stefan. I'm a fantasy writer. I'm a low content book creator, graphic designer, and substitute teacher. So I do a little bit of everything. So if you've been following along, this is going to be part 5 of my map making tutorial. If you haven't been following along, however, definitely please consider subscribing to the channel and checking out the other part of the playlist where I go into creating the map from the very beginning. So should be a lot of fun. And for those of you who have been following along, just thank you so much for your support. I really appreciate you, and I hope you enjoy what I have going on from here. So without further ado, let us get into it.
All right, so welcome back. As you guys remember, I'm just gonna turn this really fast. We went through a few different types of mountains last time. We've got the regular pointy mountains, we've got the more extended range, we've got the more detailed range. And so while you guys were gone, I just went through and I just filled in a little sections here for doing it. And the main reason that I just filled these guys in rather than actually show this on screen is because that stuff is really tiny, and just to get the whole gist of everything, yeah, it would just be way too small. So now we're going to move forward, and in this part, the reason that I wanted to do the mountains now, so after we went through and I did our coast, is because now we're going to add in our rivers. And we know that from basic just maps and all, rivers, they're going to flow in a downhill direction. They're going to start areas of higher elevation, and they're going to flow towards areas of lower elevation. In other words, it's going to be really common to see them flow from a mountain down to, all the way down here to ocean level. So that's going to be my first river. And so I'm just going to start right up in here. And I'm just going to do just kind of a wiggly line like this. It's kind of the idea that it's going to follow like so. Now, as far as rivers go, rarely do you have just that one river. You're often going to have various tributaries. So I'm just going to go in, I'm just going to add in one like right here. And then I'm going to add in one like over here. Does that make sense? And then maybe up in here, it kind of has a tributary that goes up towards that mountain. Then maybe there's one that's going to kind of go towards that mountain. So just like that. So that's one river that we're going to add. But I think that we need to add a couple more. So like I said, even though it does flow from the higher level area, it's not necessarily going to be depicted as such on here. So maybe this stuff right here, maybe this has a little bit higher elevation. And so, you know what? It's very common to see like major rivers flowing from like north to south. I'm going to have this river up here. I'm going to actually have it flow south to north just because I can. Because I think that's kind of cool. So with here now, because the rivers will all flow that direction, I'm going to have one tributary here. Then over here, I'm going to do just another tributary there. And I'm just going to add one just kind of right here like this, just like that. And then I'm going to go up here because we see a little bit going on down in here. And that's also going to be connected to a mountain range. So I'm just going to make a small river here. Just like that. And then I'll add in a little tributary there and a little tributary there. However, here's one other really interesting thing when it comes to doing these kind of landscapes. Sometimes you're actually going to have a piece of river that's going to flow from a lake. And as you notice, we don't have any lakes in here. But I think that a good spot for a lake might actually be right down in here. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to draw like this. I'm just going to add, I'm going to kind of wiggle around like that. Just put in a little area like that. And I'm just going to draw in a lake. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to go in with my mechanical pencil. Just going to shade it in. Just like so. Take my blending tool. Shade it as so. Then, because we've already got a pattern going with the previous one, I'm just going to outline here like that. Just like that. And then also I'm going to go in with my eraser just to lighten that up a little bit. And then I'm going to take my blending tool, just kind of blend that in. Cool. So now, here we have a very convenient lake. Well, from this lake, I'm going to actually have, you know what? It's going to have a little river going down to here. Just like that. Then I'll just add a tributary there just because I can. And you know what? Maybe this one actually goes from the mountain. And maybe... yeah, you know what? Maybe there's a little river that's going on up here. Just like that. Yeah, it doesn't need to be a lot. And you know what? Maybe right down here. And there we have it. So as you can see, rivers are going to go from areas of higher elevation. They're going to stretch down into the oceans. They might come from mountains. They might come from lakes. But adding in these little guys really does help to add to the landscape and really does make it a little bit more developed. So hopefully this made sense. Hopefully this was pretty fun for you guys. And yeah, I will see you in the next video.